Indians, baby. A real Indian, American Indian is me, not from Africa. Remember that.
African Americans here, but they recently moved here from places like Kenya, Ethiopia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Zaire. But now the brother whose family's lived in this country for generations, occupying space in all the locations, New York, Miami, LA, Detroit, Chicago, even if he's wearing a dashiki and sporting an afro. And if you go to Africa in search of your race, you'll find out quick, you're not an African American. You're just a black American in Africa taking up space.
And we are not Africans. We are not African. Are you an African, baby? I'm not no African. Look at you.
Rather be alone in my zone writing poems. When I get in, I take a shower, read a book and feel empowered. Smoking on that sour got me counting down the hours, thinking of all the shit that they could do but won't allow us. Then I realized they all some fucking cowards. The world is ours. Me and my brother twin like the towers, and we want it now, never later. No more favors done with all these traitors who be haters on the low. They just hate to see you grow, so I'd rather be alone in my zone writing poems, cause I'm never on the road. And I'd rather stay at home, man. Life been moving fast lately, trying to get a grasp, and every day I'm mad lately. Never let it drive me crazy, you do this for my old lady, yeah.
They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips, and thank God for our chance to breathe. They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips, and thank God for our chance to breathe. So let us breathe in.
See, ain't shit changed, but a bunch of people feel us. Reaching for the top, and now I ain't got no ceilings. Pour me up a cup or two so it can stop the bleeding. Roll me up a spliff or two, and now I'm hella weeded, cause I'm feeling like I want it, but I don't know if I need it. Took a few L's, but that nigga undefeated. Same shit, different day, why this so repeated? If we don't talk no more, it's probably cause I felt mistreated. Bad enough I don't hear excuses, trust me you could keep it. Saw it coming from a mile away once I peeped it. Caught up in that drama, mama, I don't get between it. They be trying to turn it on you, damn they really tweaking.
We broke, but we wealthy in ability and hopes fits. Bitch, no, we only need the brokerage. We only overage, overseeing all the dope shit. Killing these cats with they facilities. Flush down the drain, leaning through all 8 lives till that become they centerpiece. Unfold and be a masterpiece at half of all our faculties. We actually dope, we just don't know that half of we.
We actually dope, we just don't know that half of we.
They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips, and thank God for our chance to breathe. They told us
time's been moving slowly, so we already in too deep. Can't get no sleep on each other, carry teasing all day, and when the sun sets, you asking me to come through, kick it with you. Night turn to morning dew, then you place
Hey, hey. Still not good with the voice, but I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. Peace, y'all. Smash the like button. You know how it works. So I figured, because yesterday we had so much, and I want to dive into, and we're not going to finish it all today. I know it. It's too big. We're going to dive into the reporting of the census, the 1890 census, Indian census in Oklahoma. Okay? We're going to dive into that. Hey, big dog, Lilia, Sylvia, Alexis. Hey, darling. Oh, this voice. I can't wait till this medicine kicks in. I'm doing tea and honey. Tea, honey, tea, honey, tea, honey, water, tea, honey. But that's okay. I'm not going to stop. If I use my voice like this, it won't be squeaky. If I go like this, my voice won't be squeaky. But anyway, I'm going to dive into this shit. And hey, Gwen, I'm going to dive into it. We're going to dive into it. The 1890 census, because it's important. And you need to understand what these people did to our race and rulership as a people. I'm telling y'all, we are not Africans. We had our own government. We were always here in North America, mainland. This is the land of resource. And we controlled it. Our people. We were indeed invaded. Our identities have been stolen. YouTube is really messing with me. So y'all do need to hit the like button. Please. We have to go through the census. You can see where they made stuff up, falsified the document. It's disgusting what these people did to our history here. It's disgusting what the former government of the United States, alongside with the civilized tribes, what they did to us. I don't even know how those that are in control now can even live with themselves psychologically, knowing what the former government has done to our race as a people. The people that look like us were involved. It was all cold and a whole plan to always keep us out. And they have been able to do that for years. Years. And I don't know how these people today in power, in Congress, even sitting on the Supreme Court, can live day by day with themselves. Don't they know that the evil that they do, and I'm talking senators, representatives, councilmen, mayors, police officers, military control, Congress, judicial districts in all the 50 states who have for many years done the most cruelest and stand on the most cruelest things in history, to live the life of somebody else under fake names. And they have children and grandchildren. How embarrassing to cover up a lie. And then the people in YouTube, the HOK, deliberately running around in YouTube, holding on to the lie for as long as they can. We're in a time now, right now, where shit is happening. The world is changing. It's turning. And people that have done evil all their fucking life to this date are dying. They're just fucking dropping dead instantly, suddenly. Every time they do something that has harmed us as the original people, foreigners holding our jewels in their power by this government is beyond me. They're inflicting hell on themselves, living off of the first peoples. Gold, fortune. I just feel, and I know it, that something horrible is going to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. And I personally don't know who it's going to happen to, but it's going to be astronomical on how those still holding us in bondage as prisoners of war, they're not going to live forever. And their future generations won't exist. I know it's going to be something horribly ugly. It's not going to be good. It's not. Literally. It's going to be terrible. I just don't know when. It's going to be a shifting, a great shifting. It's going to happen so fast that it won't even be time for war. We don't have to do anything. We don't have to do anything. Nothing. All we have to do as a people is continue to educate our children, grandchildren, That's all we have to do. All this HOK stuff is dying. And they've run out of every tactic that they could possibly use. The HOK is using tactics because that's our only enemy right now. The HOK, claiming slave ships. They're so bad off that they're warring with each other. And I'm just sitting back watching. I'm like, wow. Wow. No matter what they do to try and keep things at a stead, it's not working for them. It's getting worse. I don't care if they stop and say, y'all, look, we got to stop this. We're losing. We can't. It's predicted for them to die out. Their rhetoric, that is, their rhetoric is predicted. And all we have to do is just sit back and watch them. We don't have to debate them. I just sat back and watched Senator calling Michi X, bitch, and all this stuff. Woo! I'm like, the king of the HOK is falling and he can't get up. And even when he gets up, he goes right back down. They're destroying and killing each other right in YouTube. All we got to do is watch them. They can try all they want to fix their behaviors or towards each other. It's not going to work because it wasn't predicted for it to work. They're all losing. So let us stay out their way and let them continue to destroy each other. They have an end date. Their rhetoric has an end date. Everything that they try to put on us as Aboriginals, it's failing. I tell you, these days, killing one of us, and we don't have to do a damn thing as a people. Killing one Aboriginal takes out thousands of theirs. This shit is real, y'all. You got to understand that and believe it. To take out one Aboriginal right now takes out thousands of theirs. This is the type of supernatural shit that's happening. I know that the reason why they're making these AI, artificial intelligence, they have to make it. Because see, something is going to happen. They can make all they need AI to combat us. We don't need it. We already have the powers that they're trying to implement into AI. Y'all got to believe that because it's happening. They always needed to make a weapon to overpower us, but their weapons are no good anymore. They're to the point where they're making AI to combat us. And it's not going to work because that's what they need. And it's not working. Mechanical difficulties. Mechanical difficulties. There's a special power that we have, and it will ignite in its due time. I believe it. I know it. And I know we had it before. And it was taken away from us as punishment. And it's coming back. And our power is so powerful that they have to create AI to try and combat it. But it's not going to help them. It's not going to help. You think we're warring against each other. Their war is even bigger. They're warring against each other too. And theirs is worse than ours. All I'm saying is just watch them. We don't have to do anything. Nothing. Just watch. Something crazy is going to happen. It's going to happen. It gotta happen. And I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. It's around that time for shit to get chaotic, because it was chaotic way back when we went out of power. So now when we begin to come back in our original power, how chaotic do you think it's going to be? I pray. I want to see that. I want to see that transition so bad. Shit, I'm feeling like Moses in the Bible. They wanted what the Bible says, that God let him see all the way up till today. That's their book. That's what I want to see. And I'm seeing it. It's crazy. Let's go, y'all. Smash the like button, please. Let's get into it. Oh, come on. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Now, this is the 1890 census, Department of the Interior, and it has been messed with. Robert Porter was the superintendent, appointed April 20th, 1889, and he resigned July 31st in 1808. Carroll D. Wright, Commissioner of Labor in charge, appointed October 5th, 1808. The 5 civilized tribes, Indian Territory. And this is a lot of the introductions. I'm going to make it a little bigger. See how big we could get it. Can we get this bigger? All right, there. Now, it's funny. The 5 civilized tribes of Indian Territory. Indians not taxed and not under control of the Indian office, but carried on its roles. The 5 civilized tribes of Indian Territory are the Cherokees, Chickasaws, Choctaws, Creeks, and Seminoles. The 5 tribes are entirely self-supporting, living on patent lands with a large surplus each year from payments by the United States government and the results from an almost primitive system of agriculture. They have large herds of cattle, horses, and some sheep. They have several large towns and villages. No liquor is allowed in the territory or the nations. There is a United States court, but its jurisdiction is limited. Capital offenses and felonies committed by others than Indians are tried, and the United States District Court, either at Paris, Texas, or at Fort Smith, Arkansas. There is an Indian agent at Muskogee in charge of what is known as Union Agency, which comprises the 5 civilized tribes. His relations to the several tribes are regulated by the different treaties and by orders from the Secretary of the Interior. The citizens of the 5 tribes are usually well housed in brick, frame, or log houses. Their horses, cattle, sheep, and swine, as well as tools and agriculture implements, are about the same as those of the average white people of Arkansas and Missouri. The land is largely used for grazing, and large hay crops are cut along river and creek bottoms. Enormous areas of the best lands are used by individuals for grazing and other purposes by merely running a plow furrow through or around the track or using the same. One track so used contains more than 50,000 acres. The owners of large herds who occupy these lands with their stock are opposed to allotting the lands in severalty. The number of church communicants in the 5 civilized tribes is large. They are given in detail on a subsequent page. Baptists, Methodists, Presbyterians predominate. There are some pagan Indians remaining. The laws and conditions governing the 5 civilized tribes are peculiar, and the people are reluctant to furnish information regarding them. Official Directory of Indian Territory. Judge, United States Court. J.W. Shackelford, Muskogee, United States Marshal. T.B. Needles, Muskogee, United States District Attorney. L.F. Waldron, Muskogee. Leo E. Bennett, United States Indian Agent. Union Agency. 5 Tribes, Muskogee. R.D. Martin, Clerk, Muskogee. T.J. Moore, United States Indian Agent. Quapaw Agency. Cherokee Nation. Capital, Tahlequah. Joe B. Mays, Principal Chief, Tahlequah. Samuel Smith, Second Chief, Tahlequah. Robert Ross, Treasurer, Tahlequah. Chickasaw Nation, Capital, Tushmingo. William Guy, Principal Chief, Mill Meat Creek. Alexander Kenny, Treasurer, Mill Creek. J.W. Harris, Auditor, Mill Creek. Choctaw Nation, capital is Tuscahoma. B.F. Smallwood, Chief Atoka. Allenton Telly, National Secretary, Atoka. N.B. Ainsworth, National Auditor, McAllister. Wilson Jones, Treasurer, Cotto. Seminole, capital, Wawoka, John Brown, Principal Chief, Sasakwa. Hot Putter, Second Chief, Wawaka. Jackson Brown, Treasurer, Wawaka. T.S. McGazy, Superintendent Schools, Wawaka. Lands of the 5 civilized tribes. The statement on the following page shows the lands belonging to each tribe as given. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Honor to you. Belonging to each tribe was given in the report of the Commissioner of Indian Affairs for 1890. Statistics of the Indians. Names of Indian reservations, agencies, tribes occupying or belonging to the reservation area of each reservation, unallotted, in acres, in square miles, in reference to treaty, law, or other authority by which reservations were established. That's so sweet of you. I'm so humble. I'm so humble. Now, if you look at here, I'm going to actually put this in the chat because I want you to drink coffee and read this. Some of the shit I'm telling you is made up. Total 5 civilized tribes. Area in acres, 25,694,500 and looks like 84. Square miles, 40,147 and a quarter. That's a lot of damn land. 25,000. Jeez. Cherokee. Union. Cherokee. 65,000. 81. 65 million. Damn, that's 25 million. 65 million for the Cherokee. And here's their treaties over here. I don't need to go through all that. Chickasaw, This looks like 61 or 68. Damn. Million. 7,267 square miles. Choctaw, 66,000. 10,000, 66 million. Area in acres. Damn. And the Creeks, 68 million. The Seminole, 875,000, something like that. Cherokee, unoccupied lands. $2 million. And then they got unoccupied lands. 3 million. Jesus. This is the description and history of the territory, which is important. Let's see. You can read that. This is what I was trying to tell. This is what I was trying to tell Alabama. It wasn't just Oklahoma. Let me read a little bit of this. The present Indian Territory lies between latitude 33 degrees 35 and 37 degrees north and longitude 94 to 20, blah, 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 blah. Indian Territory embraces a region larger than the state of South Carolina. There is a great diversity of soil. Okay. The oaks forest, known as the cross timbers, run from Texas through Indian Territory to Kansas, with magnificent groves of enormous trees. The water supply is unsurpassed. It includes the North and South Canadian, Cimarron, Little Arkansas, Neosho or Grand, and the verdigris, tributaries of the Arkansas River. Yeah, the Creek Indians. Settled. The Indian Territory was virtually settled by the Creek Indians first at Old Agency in 1827. It was set aside for the use of certain Indians in 1829, formed from a portion of the territory embraced in the Louisiana Purchase in 1803. Now embraced in the Indian Territory, the present state of Kansas, and the territory of Oklahoma, was of the public lands which President Jefferson suggested should be used to give establishment to the Indians of the eastern side of the Mississippi in exchange for their present country. From 1803 to 1824, there was incessant war or conflict between the Indians of the South Atlantic states and the whites. There is a distinction between Indians and the whites. That's clear. All right. This is funny shit. These pictures is fake as hell. Fake as hell. You can't tell if these are black people or because the picture's dark. Dark. It was contemplated up to 1878 to make the Indian Territory the home of all the wild Indians west of the Mississippi River into the Sierra Nevada or Coast Range of mountains. Yo, who would be the wild Indians today, y'all? Who would be the wild Indians today? Come on, put the answer in the chat. Yep. Yep. Wild Indians. They wanted to get all the wild ass people from away from the other states. Like it's like taking a bunch of wild niggas and just putting them in one location. Like the movie, what was it? What was that movie? That crazy ass movie, The Warriors. And remember they put it, and there was another one, and they put all the bad people in one area. I forgot that. It's at the tip of my tongue. They just put them all in one place, and they couldn't get out. I don't think it was Colors. I forget. But the Warriors definitely was one of them. Definitely. Anyway, okay. In 1878, President R.B. Hayes refused to send any more wild Indians to the Indian Territory. Just about replace that with anything. In 1878, President R.B. Hayes refused to send any more niggas to the Indian Territory. Dogs are fire, y'all. That goes to show you all the Indians did not go to Oklahoma. And if they did, they was coming back and forth, back and forth. You're not keeping niggas in one place. I don't care how you slice it. Even when you put their ass in jail, they never stay in their damn cell. They always going somewhere else. There it is, Copper. Escape from New York. There you go. He said, I ain't sending no more niggas to the Indian Territory. Hell no. Hey, Tony. That's some funny shit. And I'm telling you, wild Indians. You saying wild Negroes. Our government racially identified us, classified us. Even when we weren't on or in the Indian Territory, their laws applied to us. It was still our government, even when we were not in the territory of Oklahoma. Their laws still applied to us. They had jurisdiction over us. Because we wasn't citizens. We was just wandering around. Wherever a lot of our ancestors went to Oklahoma, but not all of them. A lot of us just stayed right where we were because we agreed to behave. But President Hayes said, I ain't sending no more damn wild ass Indians to the Indian Territory. He found that arable lands were in the possession of the 5 tribes, Osages, Sacs, and Foxes, the Powhatawamies, and the few adjacent tribes, and that the remaining great area, on a portion of which the Arafos and Cheyennes have recently been allotted, in which the Kiowas, Comanches, Wichitas, and Oklahomas now occupy in part, was virtually a desert and unfit for the support of those whom it was proposed to place there. Under treaty stipulations made in 1866, a general council of delegates legally elected from the tribes resident in the Indian Territory was to meet at Okmulgee Creek Nation in May of each year. The first session was held in 1869. The council continued its organization for several years, but came to nothing and is now in disuse. Now, y'all got to really go back and put yourself in the shoes or in the bodies of your ancestors, those that stayed and did not go to Oklahoma, our ancestors that stayed and didn't go to Oklahoma. Because when foreigners came over here and they moved in our areas, they already knew that it was ordered that all the Indians be removed and go to Oklahoma. So when foreigners pushed up in our areas, their nasty attitudes fighting us, you ain't supposed to be here. Take your ass to Oklahoma. Get the hell out of here. Get that? That's why they act the way they did towards us when they came. They acted like that towards us that did not leave and go to Oklahoma. That's why. That was their attitude. You ain't supposed to be here any goddamn way. Take your ass to Oklahoma. Every time foreigners came in here, white foreigners came in here, in our area where we stayed and decided not to go to Oklahoma, they always had that attitude with us. You ain't supposed to be here. Take your ass to Oklahoma. Yeah, Negro. Get out of here. And we still didn't go. That's why they did to what they did to us. Burning our house down. Any way to get us out, you should have took your ass to Oklahoma. Get out of here. Anytime foreigners came here and seen an Indian outside of its territory, that the president Jackson removed us to. That's why they had the attitudes they had. Coming over here. You nigger, you ain't supposed to be here, you nigger. Oh, that was why it was so terrible. Down south. All of the southern states and the Midwest. Every foreigner's attitude was, you ain't supposed to be here, get out. And they wanted to make it uncomfortable for us. And we fought their asses. Our ancestors fought their asses. They was hanging us, and we was hanging them back. They was burning our houses down, and we burnt theirs down. It was eye for eye. I'm so glad that I was not living in them days. The council continued its organization for several years, but came to nothing and is now in disuse. In December 1870, delegates to one of these councils made a constitution for the Indian Territory, which was submitted to the various tribes, but was not adopted. Like I said, we never, still to this date, don't come together with a resolution. We just don't by nature. Even in YouTube. Can't get a bunch of niggas together. Still that same way. If we were alive, they would ship our asses. If this was a law back then, and us on YouTube, they would ship all our asses to Oklahoma because we are wild Indians. They would. All of this was with a view to the formation of a state government in the Indian Territory, and in pursuance of the 12 articles of the Treaty of 1866 between the United States and the 5 tribes. Tribal jealousies killed this movement. Do we not have YouTube jealousies? Do we? Give me a 1. In addition, the land question of the 5 tribes was different from that of the wild or reservation tribes. Census of 1890, here we go. Smash the like button as you come in, y'all. Let's get it. Come on now. Because we're going to dissect this paper. And we're going to see the changes that they was making. Each of the 5 tribes takes a census very often. Some every 5 years. Some oftener. Now you know a nigga wrote this. They wrote oftener. That's Indian time. Some oftener. Come on, y'all. Do Indians talk like that? Some every 5 years. some oftener. Normally, you would say some more often. But this nigga said some oftener. The peculiar method of government in the nations, whereby the authorities at the several capitals are kept advised by the light horse police or town, county, or district authorities of changes, enables them to keep fairly authentic lists of the population. This is done chiefly for the purpose of resisting the claims of persons desiring to be known as citizens of the tribes and participants in land divisions, and the money to be divided between these Indians on account of sales of surplus lands. Sales of surplus lands. Such records as matters of proof will be invaluable in the future, as they will fix the date of settlement of many claimants. The enumerators of the 5 civilized tribes in the Indian Territory for the United States Census were mostly Indians. I'm going to read that again. The enumerators of the 5 civilized tribes in the Indian Territory for the United States Census were mostly Indians, appointed on the recommendation of the governors or principal chiefs, but some changes were made, and almost all were changed in one of the tribes for reason. 4 special agents were sent to the Indian Territory to supervise the work by an agreement with the governors or their representatives. The wisdom of this policy was apparent when the peculiar nature of Indian political conditions became known. Smash the like, y'all. Much opposition was shown to the census. And there was a lot of people who didn't agree with the census. The Creek and Seminole authorities aided it, however, by legislative action. They urged the residents to give information to the enumerators, but meetings were held to resist them. Indians were like, no, don't give them shit. Like Big Dog do, Big Dog Philly OG. Don't tell them shit. Hell no. No. Under the circumstances, it was decided to ask a few questions as possible and to get, as a rule, the general statistics of population. It was found difficult to obtain other statistics. The 4 special agents in charge visited the nations, and their reports give their observations in detail. The unsettled condition of the Indian Territory and the constant clashing between the whites, called intruders, they called them intruders, and the Indians or their authorities produced a prejudice against the census, which was hard to overcome. The citizens of the 5 tribes watched with a jealous eye each movement of the United States or its agents as questions of vast moment are pending. This made them chary of answering questions proposed by the enumerators or special agents. A serious difficulty was met in the answer to, "Are you an Indian?" There was difficulty. Under the laws of the 5 tribes or nations of the Indian Territory, a person white in color and features is frequently an Indian, being so by remote degree of blood or by adoption. Now, there are many whites now resident claiming to be Indians whose claims have not as yet been acted on by the nations. These niggas was the numerators, the Indians. They was like, "There ain't no fucking Indian." I could just imagine. So we had white people under our government too. Negroes are frequently met. Thank you, love. Who speak nothing but Indian languages and are Indians by tribal law and custom. And others are met who call themselves Indians who have not yet been so acknowledged by the tribes. These circumstances necessarily produce some confusion as to the number of Indians separately designated. However, the total population as given is correct. The difficulties surrounding the taking of this census were augmented by the fact that enrolling the Indians, it frequently occurred that it was necessary to equip 2 and sometimes 3 interpreters to accompany the enumerator to converse with Indians in the same locality. The residents of the 5 civilized tribes, citizens or otherwise, pay no taxes on real or personal property, and there are no assessments for this purpose. Census district. Census districts. A lot of your families lived in this area. In these areas. I'm not going to read them. I read them yesterday. The population of the 5 civilized tribes was found to be 178,097 as follows. Indians of the 5 tribes living in their own tribes. Okay. 45,494. Other Indians, including many Indians of the 5 tribes who were found in other tribes than their own. 4,561. Total Indians, 5,055. Indian citizens, Indian citizen Negroes, and others of Negro descent, 18,636. Yeah. Chinese, only 13 damn Chinese people. Get your fucking laugh on. Indian citizen Negroes. That shit sound funny as hell. Whites, including some claimants of Indian citizenship, 109,393. Now, these were citizens. Let me stop this for 1 second because I'm going to eat while I'm reading this. Well, I want y'all to see me chomping it up. I'm not finished. This is fun to read. I like reading this stuff. It's not boring. It's Friday. Get your wine, your beer, your smoke, because I'm enjoying this. White people, including some claimants of Indian citizenship. The following table gives the total population of the 5 tribes by sex and by race of each tribe. Now, look at this shit. Here's the part where they fucked up. Well, they didn't fuck up. Look on this shit, y'all. Hold up. I don't want to talk too fast. Okay. Just what I thought. Let me go back. Now, this report is funny as hell because Cherokees, Indians in their tribes, there was more males than females. Wow. Indians in their tribes, 45,000. Out of their tribes, 4,561. Of Negro descent, including claimants. Now, this is a consolidation of all the tribes. Now, with Cherokee, of Negro descent. Okay. You know Negroes Indian. 18,686. Cherokee, 5,127. Chickasaw, 3,667. Choctaw, 4,406. Creek, 4,621. And Seminole, 806. All right. Now you get to the white. $29,000 in the Cherokee tribe, Chickasaw 48,000. All these white people are citizens. 28,000 Choctaw, Creeks 8,000, and Seminole 172. Chinese in 1890, they had one goddamn Chinese in the Cherokee Nation. 9 Chinese in the Chickasaw. None in Choctaw. 3 of them was in Creek and none in Seminole. Let that sink in. Now, you already know that the Negro is the Indian by the tribal law and custom. No blood quantum needed because you're Negro, you're Indian. Now, there were, in the tribes, there was 45,494. And those out of their tribes, 4,000. In the tribe, 45,000. Out of the tribe, living outside of the tribe was 4,561. There was a whole lot of Negroes. Now, this is some crazy shit. Now, the total whites $109,898. So if you take the total, which is 178,097 minus 109,898, that means it was 68,199 Negroes. Well, you minus the 18 for the Chinese people. Okay. There was 68,181 Indians, Negro Indians. Out of 178. So it was predominantly white people living in Indian territory. What say you? What that says to me is a whole lot of Negroes stayed A whole lot of Negroes. That means they stayed in their lands. And said, fuck that, I'm not going to Oklahoma. Understand that. So the majority of the Indian Negroes did not go to Oklahoma. Give me a 1 if you understand that. That's exactly what they tell me right here looking at this database. Good. This is how you can make these decisions. You see how many whites was there, and you see how many Negroes was there, Indians. And that's what's up. Most of the Indians, Negro ones that look like us, said, fuck that, we ain't going to Oklahoma. I know because I'm here. So obviously, my family was like, shit, hell no, I ain't going to Oklahoma. A lot of us did that. Like the old lady in the video, black like me. She had her own restaurant. She ain't go to Oklahoma. She was running her restaurant. Right, Cynthia, game over. We all stayed. So that's how white people got power over our government. Now remember, as we stayed and did not go to Oklahoma, that was still our government for a long time. That was our government. And you got to understand this. When they forced us removed, whatever municipality we was in, we took records with us to make our databases and account for our people. And when the enumerators came around, they was naming everybody in their family. Betty Jean, she lists everybody, even if they didn't live in Oklahoma. They could have lived in New York some damn way. She put her family down. And the commissioner got sick of that shit because they was double counting. But That was the first order. Write your family name down, even if they're not living on the reservation. Now, the following table shows the relation of Indians by blood to the total other races. Now look at this shit. Indians are the Negroes and whites. $56,000 Cherokee. Indians number and percentage by blood. Wow. And then you got the other races. That's interesting. Wow. By sex. Let's see. More males than there are females. Under 5 years old. More males than females. 6 to 17 years old. More males than females. Excuse me. 18 and over. Still more males. And then head of families. Huge. 10,000. Huge difference. Wow. Interesting. The Cherokee National Census of 1880 showed a citizenship population of 20,336, from which there is an apparent gain of 5,642 in the 10 years. They was making them babies. Population by color of skin. The color. That is something else. The population by their color. This is interesting. There was a total of 56,309 Cherokee. It was 20,000 of them, 624 of whom 11,531 are pure bloods. Other Indians 1,391. Persons of Negro descent, 5,127, including Negro. 4,658. Wow. Mulatto, 421. Octoroon, 14. Quadroon, 32. Now, Negro Choctaw, 1. Negro Cherokee, 1. White, 29,000. Chinese, 1. Damn. This is Chickasaw Nation. Y'all could go through all of it. Check this out. The Creek National Census of 1890 gave 14,800 creeks. This included the recognized creeks of Negro descent, but not the other Indians, claimants of Negro descent or whites. That don't make no sense. The census enumerators for the creeks were almost all creeks or of Negro descent. And probably attempted to define citizenship as they knew it by Creek law. On the abstracts, they gave the Indians other than Creeks as colored. Throw up the fire, y'all. A bunch of niggas. Yo. That's crazy. The recognized Creeks of Negro descent. The census enumerators for the creeks were almost all creeks or of Negro descent. Damn. My little seminars. The column for Negroes embraces the pure Negroes and those of mixed Seminole blood. Oh. Ah. The Kayan for Negro embraces the pure Negroes and those of mixed Seminole blood. The Seminoles intermarry with Negroes. It is probable that the 806 Negro descent are almost all classed by the Seminoles themselves as Seminoles. The 1,621 Seminoles are those of full, three-quarter, or half blood. Wow! Damn! That's interesting, y'all. Damn. Y'all should sit down and read this. Statistic of Indians. This shit is okay. God, you can see this changed so much. The condition of the 5 tribes of Indian Territory, as shown by the census of 1890, personal investigation, and the reports of special agents, is that of a self-sustaining, fairly industrious, and law-abiding people. They live in a land without assessment or taxes. The term civilized was originally applied to them in contradistinction to the life of the wild Indian tribes. But as a whole, their condition is not the civilization of the Anglo-Saxon. The Indians of the 5 tribes, or a large number of them, are quarter and half breeds. In fact, are white men in features. They are generally progressive, but the most obstinate opponents of change are found among them. They have no written history. Now that's some shit. The majority of them still use Indian language. The Cherokees have an alphabet. The books and the laws are printed in it. The majority of them still use the Indian language. More than 1/4 of all the care and treaties and laws for Indians since 1850 has been for the 5 civilized tribes. They have occupied a large share of official time since 1800. They are called nations and occupy separate areas covered by patents. They have governors or principal chiefs, elective legislators, variously named, elective courts and officers and police. Some minor divisions are called counties in some districts. Except the Seminoles, all the nations have written or printed constitutions and laws. They have schools of their own and charities and churches in profusion. Their school books are in English. Newspapers are numerous and post offices plenty. The civilization of the 5 tribes has not been accomplished without a big expenditure of time and money by white people. No Indians in the United States have received such care from the whites or have been aided so as much by the United States. The trust fund interest paid them by the United States has amounted to tens of millions. No figures are at hand to verify this, but 25 million would be a small estimate. Much of their progress is due to a large Negro population in the several nations. The greater portion of these Negroes were at one time slaves, and they are now the laborers of the 5 tribes. They are fairly well advanced and steadily increasing in numbers, wealth, and intelligence. In 1836, Albert Gallatin stated that the number of plows in the 5 tribe answered for the number of able-bodied Negroes. The Creek Nation is an alert and active one, which is largely due to Negro element, which fairly controls it. The Choctaw Nation, it is death for an Indian to intermarry with a Negro. That makes no sense. Because if your law says the Negro is the Indian, then why is it death to marry a Negro? Could y'all let me know if that make any goddamn sense? Is it because by this time they done made the white person with white features the Indian? See what I'm saying, y'all? When did Indians ever go to fucking Africa to get slaves? This is why this shit is the bullshit. When? Hey, baby, when did this ever make sense? They wanted the ones with the more white features to stop having babies with the Indian Negro. That's crazy. They wanted to wipe out that Indian Negro by law. The law. They wanted to change the law of who the Indian is. You have to have, the whites have the blood of the Indian. The law says the Negro's the Indian. So if the Negro's the Indian, you have the blood of the Negro, which makes you a mulatto. Now you mulattoes, because you look more white, no more making babies with the Negro. Because you got the blood now. Yo. Wow. Hey. Listen. Hold up, y'all. Copper, you should be in a good area. Come up on the panel. Copper. Copper Aborigine. Let me put this shit up. I'm gonna go back to that shit. I want a dialogue. Isness is not here. Copper Aborigines. Step to the panel. Oh God, here we go. I damn sure don't want to talk about no Israelites. Come on now. Y'all just too far back in the dungeon. Copper, hit the link, bruh. One of y'all sisters hit the link too. Just one. One of y'all, I want a sister up here too. It's Friday. Get your ass up here. One brother and one sister. So we got Copper coming up. Copper, and I need a sister. I want a sister. Is this some shit? This is some shit. All right. Oh, there's Booma. I need a sister up. Come on, Copper. Get your butt up here. Oh, Cynthia, you gotta hit the link that I put in the chat. Paste.
Good evening, Queen Mother.
Hey, how are you, darling?
Out in the boondocks, so I might get dropped in the hunky hole. How are you today?
I'm okay. Trying to get this voice together. They gave me some good medicine, and I slept really good. So there we
Are you?
go.
I came in a
Okay.
bit late on what you were reading. Is this still the 1890 census that
Oh
Truth
yeah,
shared with you yesterday?
yeah. That's I already have it, had it, but I didn't. I just clipped it out. The paper was so much easier, and I
Right.
went back and I had it saved, but I never. I got all the censuses. Remember, I showed you all the censuses from when
Mm-hmm.
1790. I just never printed them. There's too much.
Right.
They're all on my
It-
flash drives. But I'm glad he bought it. Shit, that saved me a lot. There you
I
go,
think there's
Cynthia.
purposeful
That a
subterfuge
girl.
and
Can I do my makeup?
confusion.
Oh
Hey,
yeah, if you could.
there goes Sister Cynthia.
Yeah, you could do your makeup, baby. I'm
You
Thank
leaving
don't need
because.
no makeup.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did you say Jamaica? Are you Jamaican me crazy?
Cynthia.
Oh boy, oh boy. This is beautiful.
Yeah, it is. I
I
love it.
think that back and forth between Negro and Indian is purposeful confusion.
Yeah,
That's just
I
my
agree.
opinion. But
No, I agree. And I think you're absolutely right. 100.
but there's when you get further down, it shows you Negro chiefs and shit. So we're gonna get there
Hey, you
eventually.
know what? Um, I got to talk to my sister again because she told me something
We're
about the Department of Agriculture.
right. We're staying on 1890 census. I don't want to switch from this topic and talk about nothing else but what's on this census.
Okay,
Okay.
I was just going to just let you know something because I wasn't too familiar with it. Maybe y'all were because this was the first I've ever heard of it.
Oh, it's Census Day. Happy Census Day. That's how we get to stay on topic so we don't confuse our audience because then they start leaving because they really want to dialogue, hear us dialogue. So let's keep it to the census as I promised because they send me texts and emails saying why they keep changing the subject and I don't want
Okay,
to
here
do it.
I am.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
The
I
Negro.
have one question on that, Queen Mother. We talked about it briefly yesterday, but the census is a federal organized enumeration, but you're talking about how they dealt with themselves internally as well.
Yes. Yep. Because they didn't really want the citizens and the Indians when the enumerators came around. because they was white, from the federal government. They didn't want to tell them shit like what Big Dog and us be doing. No, because they didn't want to deal with the government, which I can't blame them. Their attitude was just give us our goddamn money and leave us alone, which I don't blame them. Don't worry about keeping track of us. Y'all moved us to fucking Oklahoma. Now you want to keep a track. Just want to see how many deaths and babies is coming. I don't blame them for acting that way. But anyway, let's go. The Negroes are among the earnest workers in the tribes. The Creek Nation, and they tell you that the Creek Nation is predominantly on Negroes, affords the best example of Negro progress. Now check this out. The principal chief, virtually a Negro, comes of a famous family in Creek Canals. Throw up some fire. The principal chief, a Negro, virtually a Negro. They're telling you, the goddamn principal chief was a Negro. Fire, please. What do you think about that? Sid, Copper, Buma, Babu.
I believe that everything that you're saying is the truth of what happened, what happened to us as a people.
No, honey. Listen. The Creek Nation affords the best example of Negro progress. Now listen, the principal chief, that's a title, virtually a Negro, comes of a famous family in Creek annals. How about that? What are your thoughts about that, Copper?
But see, when they use a word like virtual, see, that's the thing where the confusion starts. They're trying to imply something being less than authentic or full blood when you start getting into this skin pigmentation or light skinned in this. So when you use the word virtually Negro, that's deceiving.
Well, I'll say it like this. I'll agree with Brother
virtually means
Alibama.
almost entirely.
So there were more like other children that were born within the Creek Nation. And the way I took it is dealing in skill and trade, meaning building skills. And the Creeks dealt probably in building, whether it was carpentry, whether it was brick land, block land, plumbing, electrical, skyscraper building. That's how I'm looking at it.
There you go. He had more of his Negro features. And he was the principal chief. See, they wanted it to be.
I grant you, Queen Mother, they acknowledge Negro, but they keep trying to lift up mixed race status. You see what I'm saying?
Of course.
Especially using words like virtual, almost, not quite a Negro. Then they jump back and forth with saying Negro is designated to labor and then claim that the Creek, the Cherokee, the Seminole, whatever. When you use the term in general, what is people's default position of thinking a quote unquote American Indian is and what is a Negro? You see, that's that jumping back and forth, causing and clouding the issue.
Exactly, because they wanted, the whites was fighting for their little bit of fucking blood to be the Indian. And that's clear. That's why I like this. They're fighting for that little bit of blood to be the Indian. And that's the most fucking embarrassing and shameful part. You want to be the nigga. This is the way I look at it. So
one drop
despite,
rule.
Despite what they write in this shit.
You're talking.
Despite what they write in this shit and the way I'm seeing it and perceiving it and comprehending this shit, to me, it's just telling me you want to be a nigga so bad.
Well, everything they did on paper.
Yeah, this is what makes them look fucked up.
Yeah, it was all, everything they did, no matter what it was all done on paper. The way we were raised in our family, I'm Comanche Indian. My mother's Comanche. Out of Oakland. They came out of Oakland, but they lived in Texas. My grandmother been there so long, Polk, Polk. She been there so long, they have a road named after Polk up into, that goes right up to her farm, the Clinton Farms. But what they did is how they were able to do all of what they did. They did everything on paper. In our household, we would use the word, Negro, Indian. My father's from Trinidad, Tobago. He's well known. He is why I've been able to even be promoted is because of my father. I'm using my father's name to promote everything. My Yolanda Pompey, the boxer from Trinidad, Tobago. My mother, she's Comanche Indian, but my father's Indian too. So my mother, even when we were children in our household, we were called Indians, because my father's from Trinidad, they're Indians. So we've always used the name I was born in 1962. We've always used the name in our house as Indians. And when I went to school, I have record that they bussed us out to a program over to they used the word Negro Indian children when they bussed us out. I have record of that. So even the school system considered us as Negro Indian children when I went to school. In 1962, you couldn't call us black. Black wasn't a word that nobody used. But the computer, they're going back into the computer and they're changing the words in the books and they're changing everything to say black. So the children after, 1970, those are the children that's lost. But we're not lost, the ones that are born in the 60s and prior, because a lot of us remember the Cherokee language. A lot of us remember Giggish Old English. Giggish Old English is what everybody used to barter with. Giggish Old English is all the languages put together, so we called it Giggish Old English. That's how we bartered. So they didn't even have a language. They took the Giggish Old English and said that was their language. They actually didn't have a language. So, I can go on and on. But when we were children, Negro, because my mom's Mexican, Black, Texas, Oklahoma. They're the Aztec Indians that came up, the Mayan Indians that came up. That's what Comanche Indians are. We're the Aztecs. We're the brown people. We were brown and beautiful, brown skinned people. We never used the word black in those days, but we did use the word Negro because that's what we are. It meant that we're Indians. In 1962, Negro meant I'm an Indian. On my birth certificate right now, it says Negro. That means I'm an Indian. We didn't have a problem with the word Negro or Negro. These are the young people that's lost. It's the people that are like age born after 1970 because they have been lied to in the schools. We're not in the history books as I work in nursing for over 24 years. I am 61 and 61.8. I'm almost 62 years old. I meet nurses from Africa, Asia, Japan, um, all over, and they tell me they never heard of me. How can that be possible? You never heard of a Niji or a Negro Indian? But that's what they tell me. They don't know our story. So that meant that our children from 70 on, they're lost. So
No,
this is what
actually,
this
they're
is
not.
about.
They're
This
not. But
super
if you're in
awakening.
YouTube, no, that's not true. The 70s babies, they're not lost. If you look in YouTube, a lot of who you're seeing in YouTube in these streets are babies born in the
That's
70s.
true. That's true. I take that back. We're waking them up.
Right.
We are doing it. We're waking them up. But let's say back in 1970, that's when they were lost because they needed somebody to wake them up. But now they're all waking up, and they've been waking up since.
I mean, they're like these 1970 babies, 1980 babies, and the 90s are kicking in now.
You're right.
They
They are
are,
waking up.
they're in YouTube, they're going as a speed of lightning
You're
with
right.
this thing. And
You are right.
yeah,
You're right. They are waking
how
up.
you
You're right.
know, how you know,
Yeah.
because look at the rap songs that they're making.
Yeah. You're absolutely
The
right. They are
rap
waking
songs
up.
is reaching them 90 babies and them
Yeah.
2000 babies. The rap songs, it's it's
You're
flying
right.
through them faster than with us.
You're right. What I mean, I didn't mean to say lost. I take that back. What I mean is, as far as the school and the history books and the history, what they're saying in here is not true. If they read this, the history books, then they're not getting the correct information. But as
Uh,
far as what the people are doing in the communities, yes, the people are waking them up.
like when I was coming up, I grew up with a lot of West Indians and a lot of Puerto Ricans. I don't know one West Indian that didn't identify as West Indian. They tell you I'm West Indian.
Yep.
I'm West Indian. They tell you,
That's
oh,
true.
I'm West Indian. I'm West Indian. They
That's
tell you
true.
I'm West Indian. I don't know not one. I didn't go to high school. I went to
That's
high school with mass amount of West Indians.
that's true.
And they tell you, oh, I'm West Indian. It's my West Indian culture. I'm West Indian. They know who they are.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
whether they're from Barbados, Jamaica,
So I
real,
was doing that.
really
Yeah.
Jamaica. I grew up with a lot of Jamaicans, and they have the Jamaican Day Parade. And it's not called the Jamaican Day Parade. It's called the West Indian Day Parade.
That's true. Yeah, they grew up with the
Interchangeably.
identity that they're Indians. That's true. I
Exactly.
also grew up with the identity that I'm Indian, but I also saw everybody that looked like me as Indians too.
Yes.
There
And
was
wait a
there
minute.
was nothing
Puerto
else but
Ricans.
Indians. Yeah,
Puerto Ricans. All Puerto Ricans know that they're Taino. They tell you
yeah.
here,
Everyone.
every Puerto Rican I know. Oh yeah. They don't say Puerto Rican, but yeah, I'm Taino. They
Yeah,
know
because
the original
I,
identity.
I grew up
Every
in
Puerto
Portland,
Rican.
Oregon. I grew up in Portland, Oregon.
No, I'm talking about Puerto Rican.
I grew up in
American.
Portland, Oregon, and
Oh,
everybody that looked like me in Portland, Oregon, I considered them Indians, just like I am.
yeah. Every Puerto Rican I know. And
Yeah,
they'll tell you when they come over here, yeah, I'm from Puerto Rico. But they will tell you in a minute, oh, yeah, I'm Taino. I'm Taino.
that's
I'm
that's true.
Taino.
That's true.
We're the only ones.
That's
But now
true.
we got it. And the sad part is the people like Jabari, who's going to fail. They are
That's
failing. Him being West Indian.
well, their information is basically from books.
Yeah.
See, and that's what I meant by when I said lost. The information is coming from books. But when they get the information from you, Honorable Chief, we love you so much. When we get
I
the
love you too,
information from
sister.
you, when we get the information from chiefs that we have out there, all of the beautiful men in the panel and
Yeah.
beautiful chiefess, we love you so much.
I
When
love
we
you
get
too,
information,
sister.
from the community, that's how the young people are basically waking up. But they're also waking up to the fact that they're Indians and they're wealthy. We own all the land.
And they're
So
so happy.
they're waking up to a lot.
And they're
It's
so
a lot
happy.
because we're
They're so
wealthy.
happy.
We just live in a life as if we're poor, but we're wealthy. We have so much land. We have so much land to right now to this day. If we offered allotments, we can all live in euphoria. That's how much land we have. We
Mhm.
are
We have more
wealthy.
than that, sister. We
Yeah,
have
we're
more than that,
wealthy.
sister. We have
But
all the
but
gold
that's
mines. We got
yeah,
all the
that's
silver
true.
mines. We got all the
That's true. But
coal mines. We have.
that's true. That's true. But let's just
See,
start
this
with the
that's
land
the
for right
wealth,
now.
though. That's the wealth.
Let's just start
That's
with
the
the
wealth, because
allotment.
everything comes from there.
That's true, but let's start with the allotments and the land right now, and because we know we own it all anyway.
Hey, Sid, do you what state are you in now?
I'm in Portland, Oregon. I was raised in
Okay,
Portland.
well, okay, yeah. Portland,
Yeah,
Oregon.
Ooh wee,
Wow.
yeah. I'm
ooh wee.
20 over 24 years working in nursing. I'm military. I've been using my dad's name to promote this this movement, and the movement is that we're eventually given our parents allotments that they should have been given when they were 17, but we never got that. So the movement is that we're given those allotments, and then we can turn this around. We can
Yeah,
turn this around. We can
you're
make a
right,
difference.
Sid.
If you know we're going to spend,
You're right,
yeah.
Sid.
And we're not going to do to them what they did to us, and that's their greatest fear.
Right, right.
We're not like them. And
Yeah, we're
that's
not
why
like
when they
them.
came over here, it was supposed to be that way, but they reconstructed everything. When they came over here, everybody was supposed to get money and land. It wasn't just supposed to go to the Native Americans, which that word didn't even exist prior to 1970. There's no such word as Native American. We were
And those
Indian. We were
people,
American
those people
Indians.
aren't even
Yeah,
from
that
here.
word wasn't even supposed to, where
They're
did they
not
even
from
come
here.
from? I
Like
wasn't called a Native American when I was a child. We were
right.
Indian.
And
So
you know
they
what?
invented,
And reading that census, there was only one Chinese person. So I'm like, if all right, if the Negroes is doing all the work, the Indian,
yeah.
where's the goddamn Chinese kind of looking people?
We were due
They weren't
They
allotments.
here.
weren't even out there.
Everybody was
Right,
due
They
Copper?
weren't here.
allotments.
Copper. Let me dial up with Copper for a minute. Copper. I
Yeah.
just went through the 1890 census. And for anything that was Chinese, it was like one in Cherokee. So I'm like, so if that's the case, all the Negroes is doing the work in the creeks. Where's these funny looking people that look Asian? Like, where the fuck did they come from? They were
Well,
not down there.
Well,
They were not
here,
there.
check, check this out.
Where were
The
they?
first time anybody realizes, the first time when you start realizing the story of them people, now somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but from me personally, I remember reading the story of them people uh, being supposedly working
You're breaking up real bad,
Is it
Copper.
me or am I here? Because he sounds really
You
on
delayed and
railroad
real bad,
choppy.
Copper.
from west
I
to
don't know
Copper.
what you just
Copper.
said.
east,
You're
and
breaking up.
our people working to west and
I
meeting in the
don't know
middle.
anything you said.
All many building the rail. Really?
Can you, Copper? We can't hear you. You're breaking up bad.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
gotta
I
fix
can
your
move over.
gotta fix your shit, man.
He's
Bad.
cycling like it sounds like a fan. You
Yeah.
I don't
know,
hear anything.
he's reverberating and
Yeah, we can't
pausing
hear
and
you,
going
brother.
in.
Oh, yeah, you gotta go up and get back on. But in reading the census, These people were not listed in Oklahoma.
That's true.
They were
That's true.
not there. Now, if they Indian, maybe they
That's
came
true.
somewhere from out of Mexico area somewhere, or I don't know. But
That's
they
true.
were not in Oklahoma.
That's true. I have
These
I
are
have
not Negroes, and they're not white people either. Look, the census talked about Negroes and white people.
yeah, I
They're
have
not Negroes. This is important, y'all. Reading that census.
yes.
This is very important. The
I had
census,
I have
hang on a second. All the censuses, God damn it. I will not play with anybody today. Nobody.
Their names aren't on the census.
You witches. You dogs. All the censuses from when they got in Oklahoma. Nothing but the talk of white people
That's
and
true.
Negroes. No other race. Just white people and Negroes.
That's true.
These are not Negroes.
They're not on the census.
And they're not white people. Yet, this is what you see advertised as Indians.
That's true.
Oh, the devil gonna make you run and fall. You're crucified. The devil make you run.
Okay, I'm back. Dang, I don't know why I keep cutting off on me.
This is the most important thing to put up when you're reading the Indian Census that speaks about nothing but black people, or I'm sorry, I said black, Negroes.
That's okay.
And whites.
You're 100% correct.
These
people right here are not there. These people are not there.
That's the thing. They're not on the census. They're not on the census. That is so sad. My thing is we know what they've done. We know they basically stole our birthright by claiming to be us. We realize that, and we realize they took a lot of money, and right now they're living on land that they shouldn't be living on. But what we're saying, basically, my movement is that the government go ahead and grant us the allotment money owed us, and then just with that money we can buy land and we can turn this around. I don't know if anybody wants them moved off the land, but I do know there's a lawyer in Oklahoma who's getting together paperwork, and he is moving people off of those farms. So that is happening. I had a state researcher research all of my mother's history, and I have a copy of the census that was taken back in 1876, and there's everybody's name on there. All my uncles, my cousins, my mother, my father, my grandmother, my grandfather, everybody's on the census in Oklahoma. And then she was able to research my because my mom came out of Texas. They had a farm in Texas. She was able to research my all the death certificates, because what they did was after 1920 they burned all the Texas birth certificates and stuff, everything in Texas. You can't get any birth certificates or death certificates or nothing prior to 1920 in Texas. It was all burned.
When looking at the census for Seminole, all they talked about was Negroes and then whites. Where on here do you see a Negro and a white?
What they did was they stole our birthright is what they did. They have no paperwork. They just took, and they're keeping us from actually joining the tribes. And we have paperwork. I have paperwork all the way back to 1800, documented paperwork.
This is why I said the government document speaks volumes. The authentic tribal government census that was reported to the interior, to the government, to the United States government. The census says Negroes
Yes.
and whites. Where is the Negro and the whites in this damn tribe?
They're in that picture, but on paperwork they stole our inheritance is what they did.
Where's the Negro in this picture? Pick out the Negro in this picture, ma'am.
There's not one.
Okay, pick out the white guy or white girl in this picture.
Actually, all of them can pass for Caucasian or white.
Think again. Let's now we need to know our people. So, okay. Let's get a picture. Because no, you're not gonna do this. Okay, here we go. I don't see anybody in that picture passing for white people. Now, can you, on the first row, can you please pick out the white people on the first row?
Oh, shoot. I apologize. I just have my cell phone instead of my tablet. So.
Please pick out the white people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 people on the first row. Please count the number of white people.
4.
All right. You counted 4 white people. You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Now, you counted white people. Let's go back. Let's go back. Please count the number of white people on here.
Oh, you made it. Thank you.
You picked out the white people already on the first row. How many white people are in this picture?
I'll say 2.
Where do you see white people on this picture?
The first gentleman. The first gentleman.
No.
The 3 women, I'm thinking they're Mexican. And then another man and another.
Are you serious? Are you for real? Come on now.
I'm thinking they're Mexican.
All right, let me say this. Pick out the Asian looking people on here.
Oh, Asian. Okay, I'm thinking they're Mexican. So
pick out all the Asian looking people on here.
So about 8 or 9. And then there's 2 people in the background that look like
all of them.
All of them?
They look like Asian, Philippine.
You're right.
These are not white. These people were not on the census.
They were not on the census.
And they didn't live in Oklahoma.
You're correct. Yeah, you're right. They don't look, I can't tell what, they do look like they may be Asian or maybe part Asian, part Mexican. I can't really tell what they are, but they're not Indian. That's sad. That's sad what they did.
Here we go. Let's do the game. I've never seen a Negro not able to pick out a white person. These are white people. Let's go back. White people, Negroes. Let's see here. Which one looks white?
Oh, president and I think that's his family.
No, that's Cory Booker. He is a senator of New Jersey.
I thought they were related.
No. Can you tell the audience? Can you please tell me which one is a white man? The one on the left or the right? And which one is a Negro?
The one on the right.
Good. Because that's all that was on the census. White people and Negroes.
That's true. Thank you.
Is this a Negro? Or is it a white man?
We considered him a Negro.
Okay.
Or Indian.
Is it a mulatto family?
Yes.
Thank you.
No, we consider
That's
him
Cory
Negro.
Booker. That's Cory Booker when he was a
Considered
little
him
boy, and his mom and dad. That's Cory Booker, Senator Cory Booker, and his mom and dad.
Okay.
They are Indians.
Indians.
Mulattoes. They would have been on the census listed. The two boys would probably be listed as Negroes. The dad would probably be listed as a Negro or mulatto. Mom definitely would be listed as a mulatto.
Yes, that's correct. I'm looking at this.
Yeah. Is this a Negro?
Yes. I mean, we consider.
All right. All right.
Wait, we consider
no, I'm just
him
doing the test.
You're right.
All right. Let's not make this job hard. On the census sheet, what would they be listed as in Oklahoma on the 1890 census?
Negroes.
All right. That's it. The two people at the top, what would they be listed as on the 1890 census?
That's true. They would be listed as white people.
All right. That's it.
Wow. You're right. I mean, I agree. That's the way they did it on paper.
The lady on the left, if we were doing the 1890 census in Oklahoma, what would the lady on the left be listed as on the census?
She would be listed as white.
All right. What would the lady on the right be listed as?
As a Negro.
Okay. That's me and my girl, Wendy.
Wow.
All right, let's go. What would she be listed as on the 1890 census?
She would be listed as a Negro.
Thank you. What would he be listed as on the 1890 census?
He would be listed as a white man.
Not mulatto? There's no Negro features in this man.
He would be listed as a mulatto if he has Negro features.
Can you see this good? Do you see any Negro features in him?
I would say, I can't tell to tell you the truth. I would say mulatto.
Yes, that's exactly. He would be listed as a mulatto on the census sheet. That's the chief of the Pequot tribe, Rodney.
Wow.
And his family was forced to Barbados.
Oh, wow.
Let's go get Miss Scott. Where is she? Where you go, Miss Scott? What would she be listed on in the 1890 census as?
A Negro.
Okay. Because she does have ancestry. She uses the word African American, which I already told everybody in her bio. Jabari dumbass. Because that's the word to use. Otherwise, it would be Negro.
That's true.
So I'm not going to play semantics with people and their dumb shit. See, a nigger want to run off. They better run from me. Because I just don't play. I don't play. Their census. Look, this is not my making. I did not make this census. I didn't make this census. All they talk about is whites and Negroes in here.
That's true.
And Indians. The mix. It's crazy.
That's true. You speak the truth.
And I'm like, enough of the games. They tried. Their own government information puts them in trouble.
That's true.
I don't need to go outside their information and get no damn book from a scholar to prove my point.
That's true.
Their government information tells it all.
Documented.
Primary source.
Yeah, they documented everything. So
this is what they hand to the government. Cynthia, these Pan-Africans got a long way to go. They're dried out, dusted out, over with. It's over for them.
It's over.
It's over. The best thing to do in a lawsuit is all those that got deceived to be called freedmen in these 5 tribes. All you do is add an amendment to the lawsuit and say these people are under fake identities as freedmen.
Nice.
When they're really Indians.
Nice.
And fix it for them because they didn't have a proper lawyer. And now I know all those freedmen are wishing like hell.
Thank you.
I know they're all wishing like hell. Those freedmen that they have better representation. But the way to fix it, the way to fix it for them, and I'm talking about these people. Let me go get them.
Thank you, Honorable Sister Betty.
I love you too. Sis, right here. Where my peeps go? Wait a minute. Here we go. These people who had poor representation, they know who they are. All you got to do is add them in the lawsuit and say, sorry, these freedmen are Indians.
That's true.
Not African-American slaves. Add them.
That's true.
Motion to add the Cherokee freedmen. All the freedmen.
Thank you.
Which will be done. We're going to fix this.
Thank you.
You see how that goes?
Hallelujah.
You see how that works?
Hallelujah.
You see how that
Allah.
works, Sid?
Allah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
You
Thank
just
you.
fix it. There's no war that needs to be done.
Thank you.
Motion to add the Cherokee freedmen as
It's time.
defendants.
It's time.
Add them as defendants. Sorry, prove to me that you are an African slave. They're not going to be able to prove it.
Yes.
Let's correct your identity. Let's get it popping. You're coming in, my motion to add the Cherokee freedmen, all of them.
100% my support. You have 100%.
Says,
Thank
I get
you.
the fist
Thank
pump
you. Thank you.
so we can fix them.
Thank you.
They don't do that to my brother and sister. They had a poor ass lawyer. Oh, here it is. The link is right here, babes. Let's see. There it is. Let's see if I can pin this. Oh, come on. Why can't I pin this? This damn heart's in the way. I got to wait till somebody types something in the chat. Okay, here we oh God, this thing, I hate it. It's in my way. Put some more laughy faces to get it up. I hate when that happens. Now I can pin it to the top. So now what I would have to do, because I know that they had poor representation as freedmen, and they know they're not African Americans. So all you do is amend them as a defendant. Because listen, you're not no freedman from Africa. You're the Indian by tribal law and custom. You are the Indian. In order for the white people that took over the tribe to become Indian, they had to sleep with the law.
That's true.
So we have to do it, play their little game. They had poor representation. They
That's
really
true.
did. They did.
That's true.
And we have to help our people.
We love you so much.
Sid, when did we ever have representation in federal courts?
We never did.
None. Never.
So the way to fix them, Copper, to help our Cherokee brothers and sisters, add them in the lawsuits as defendants. Excuse me. The tribe law says you're Indian by law and custom. What are we doing here? How are you freedmen? Let's fix it.
It's time.
They should really be suing that lawyer for misrepresentation.
True.
They really should. All the
Should
freedmen.
Should
Cap.
sue the whole bar association for that nonsense because they all
True.
involved.
Yeah.
True.
There's a movie coming out October the 20th. I don't know if anybody's aware of it. It's the storyline of this movie dealing with these whites and these so-called Native Americans who are really, us. And what you're going to notice in this movie is that they're dealing in oil. Now, you all know where the oil fields were first started and found at. And you know who was running those.
Texas,
And
where?
it was the
Dallas?
Indians of Oklahoma.
Where? Oh, Oklahoma. Okay. You got Oklahoma. There's oil in
The Indians
Georgia
of
too.
Oklahoma first. They were first. They were the first ones. Them Negroes out in Oklahoma is the ones who tapped off into that oil first. Then I think it was Texas.
That would be my mom's people. North Oklahoma is also considered Texas. They consider it that one area. It's the
Really?
Yeah. My mom's Comanche and she lived in Texas, but they considered all of that Oklahoma still their people and their land.
Is that called what they list as old states? Because on census sheets, sometimes they have old state.
I don't know that information. I just know what my mom told me. That those are all her people.
Mm,
Because we didn't separate anything like they did. They came in and just started separating the states, but
mm. Wow. I'm just amazed at, and I'm so glad that I downloaded. I think it was a couple of months ago because we were doing the voting districts, and I downloaded all the census instructions for every year that they've been out because we need to keep those before they change them.
yes.
And I got them. I did. I was able to get them, and I passed them out on drives to people in case anything ever happens. They got everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, we have proof back to the 1800s of who we are. So
Yeah.
it's time to start suing.
Yeah.
It's time.
Their records. It's not, the tribe knew what they were doing, and they were accurate. They, Negroes. They were the ones that was watching the United States with a jealous eye because they saw what they were trying to do.
True. My battery's dying. Let me just plug it in real quick.
And when I read that, I was like, now I get it, because you had to keep reading. Like, why are they watching the United States with a jealous eye? Because they saw what their asses was doing when the enumerators were going around.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, the Negroes that are in here saying, I see what the hell you're trying to do. And then they passed a law saying that the Negro Indians couldn't sleep with the white people.
Mm, 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 mm.
I'm like, there it
No.
is. Because they got the ones that did have the Negro blood, they wanted them to keep mating with white people so that they could always say they got the Indian blood, to where it got all the way out to like 164th. And the Negroes was like, oh, hell no. No, you don't. Because they can never be full bloods. The white Indians that are like 116th, 132, 164 Indian, they could never be full bloods. The only one that can be the full blood is the Negro, because the law said that the Negro is the Indian. That's just the law. They didn't need to have a blood quantum because they were the blood quantum. There's no quantum needed.
They're also a bit scared of our blood because my blood is O negative. They say a lot of people from the islands, they have O negative blood. I've never been sick a day in my life, never had the common cold or anything. So they're also scared of the fact that our blood is so pure.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I've never been sick with the common cold or flu virus or nothing. My dad has the same kind of blood from Trinidad Tobago. I have O negative blood. So
That's awesome, son.
well, they kept. I work in nursing, so they kept trying to force different vaccinations in my body, and my body kept rejecting the vaccinations. So they called the Center for Disease Control to find out why my body's rejecting vaccinations, and they said, "Oh, she's one in so many billion have blood like she do, where it rejects viruses."
Indian.
That's
That
what
whole
I'm trying
blood.
to say. It's Indian. They say a lot of people from Trinidad, Tobago, down in that area have this type of blood.
Yeah, a
So they're
lot of
sort of scared of that
Negroes
too.
here. A lot of Negroes here got it too.
True, see, and they don't want to really, you know what I mean, put
Yep.
that out there because that's proof of also who we are.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know.
So I love just reading. I sit back, girl, I just sit back and I read and I'm like, wow. See the court decision today on the Freedmen and Chickasaw Nation. Let me see.
All right, that's the best I can do with this phone. I guess I can sit up a little bit. I had to move over. Okay. That's better.
Let's see. I'm looking it up now, buddy. 9.
While you're looking that up, can I say something? I know that the eminent domain is a lie, that the court system was never allowed to take land or anything from us. They say that the basically the Negro Indians owned the land, and the nations held the land in trust status. So they said because the land is held in trust status, the states cannot take the land by eminent domain. What happened was they said the federal statutory authorities allowed states to take allotments held by the United States in trust for individual tribal citizens, and these allotments were used for public purposes, including utilities. So they were never allowed to take the land by eminent domain. That's all a lie.
Here we go. Oklahoma City. A judge for the Muscogee Creek Nation in Oklahoma ruled in favor of citizenship for 2 descendants of Black slaves who once owned by tribal members, got potentially paving the way for hundreds of other descendants known as freedmen. District Judge Danette Mauser, based in the tribe's headquarters in Okmulgee, ruled late Wednesday, which is in favor of 2 Black Muscogee Nation freedmen, Rhonda Grayson and Jeff Kennedy.
That's incredible.
Sued the tribe citizenship board for denying their application. Mauser reversed the board's decision and ordered it to reconsider the applications in accordance with the tribe's treaty of 1866, which provided descendants of those listed on the Creek freedmen roll are eligible for tribal citizenship. Why won't they be the fucking Indian like the tribe law says?
Right.
Sovereignty allowed. Okay, Muscogee Nation plans to immediately appeal the ruling of the Muscogee Nation Supreme Court. He's going to appeal it.
Nice.
With Judge Mauser's flawed reasoning and matter. Banana Creek and we look forward to addressing civilized tribes by European settlers because they often assimilated into the settlers' culture and adopted their style of dress and religion and even owning slaves. Each tribe also had a unique history with freedmen whose rights were ultimately spelled out in separate treaties.
That's true.
That's within the tribe. But what about the tribe's decision of who the Indian is? You can't leave that out. You can't get around that. You can't.
Yeah. The time
See, that's what I'm saying. It goes into them not having the proper representation.
That's true.
But you don't have to be a member of those fucking tribes. You do not. You do not have to be. You could be your own individual. You don't have to be a part of them. You don't. That's what people fail to understand. You could be Indian and not be a part of them.
Can you share that information with me?
Yeah, I'll put it in the back.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
Because it's time.
I'm not playing with these goddamn people.
Yeah.
Let me see private chat. Paste. Sam, you gotta put your number in the back. Here, write mine down.
Oh,
I'm putting it in the back.
okay. I'm writing it down.
You see it in the back?
I don't see anything. Hold on.
It says where it says private chat. You got to click on that.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Private chat. That's where I put the link. And I'm gonna put it.
Oh, wow, nice.
Also, paste. I'll put the link in the chat room. There you go, folks. For the ruling that was yesterday, 9/28. They made that ruling. So, almost 3 hours on this baby. I'm ready to get off. We can come back and revisit it. But tomorrow, I promise we're going to do the other document that was given to me.
Thank you. Thank you. We love you so much for all that you're doing.
I love you too, Sid. Hey, Cop, it seems like you only work in Zoom, bro. But I'm going to log off of here, y'all. I love y'all. I'm going to actually, let me see who's live. Because I can redirect you to people. That's all right. See if I remember how to do this. Oh, app, not live. I can redirect y'all to Brother Sanchez. Let me try. Let me see if I remember how App Power showed me how to do this. I'm going to try. I'm going to give it a try. Content. Live. Come on. Go to the pencil. Go to customization. Go to, oh, he said go to customization.
I also want to put my number in there.
Redirect ad. Search. Oh, there he is, right there. All right. Y'all gonna go to Brother Sanchez. I love y'all.
Love you.